Welcome back, everybody. I wanted to start this episode with a huge thank you to, everybody. Last video did amazing, as in it sits at 110 views right now, which is almost twice as much as the next most viewed video on this channel. So, nothing but thanks. It's been an overwhelmingly positive response from everybody. Also, people who have messaged me in private on the Discord and say, can I use some of your ideas? And someone actually said, I'm afraid to be in the same bracket as you in this competition. And I mean, it's been amazing. It's been an amazing response, and I've kind of felt amazing all week about it. So, a big thank you is in place, I feel. From then, where do we go on? We just continue building. I mean, the contest is still running, another 2.5 weeks. And today I am building the observatory. Now you may think, what observatory? You've never mentioned an observatory. And yeah, that's correct. And it wasn't even my plan that it was going to be an observatory. I started building a tower, and I felt like the roof was a bit empty. And then I thought, how cool would it be if this would be an observatory? So yeah, that was kind of how that happened. But yeah, you'll see in a minute how that turns out. I'm gonna talk about it in the live section. So what I first wanted to talk about is coming week. So for the next episode for you guys, it's a bit of a weird week for me, since I have time this afternoon after releasing this video. And let's see, on Wednesday I have pretty much no time. Thursday is my birthday, I have almost no time. Friday I have some time, Saturday I have some time. And then Sunday is very exciting, for me at least, since I am actually going for the first time in my life to Phantasialand. And my god, I've been looking forward to this. This has been a bucket list park for me for, I think a few years now, at least 2 years. But I'm so excited to finally go there, and I'm sure it's gonna be amazing. But I'm going there on Sunday, and after that I'm going down to Europa Park, also in Germany. In grand total I'll be gone for roughly 5 days, I believe. So next episode and the episode after next episode might be fairly small. Roughly the size actually of this episode. It's also not the biggest. But don't worry, there are gonna be episodes. I'm just gonna schedule them that they get uploaded at the right time, and that I don't have to be at home to upload them. So just according to the normal schedule, there is gonna be another episode at Tuesday at 3, both of those weeks. So nothing to worry about for you guys. With all that being said, I think that would be everything I would need to say right now. So this time-lapse is going to go on for another 5 minutes or so, and then we'll jump back into the live portion, and I'll see you guys there. For now, just enjoy the music. So after the time lapse, I am very, very happy with how this turned out. I was initially very worried when I started this, first of all, like, the only thing I had planned here was, quote unquote, steampunk tower, which, well, it's kind of could mean quite a lot of things. But the thing I was actually most worried about was that this area was very much more of like a light color scheme with a fantasy style. Like more of, you wouldn't really see this in real life, while this portion of the park is much more down to earth, a bit Victorian England inspired, and much more, this is much more something you could actually find if you're walking through some city or village in England. So I was really, really scared of making something that would be more in the style of, the light fantasy style, but that could be seen from anywhere in the park. I was really worried about this, but I think, if you look at it from somewhere like here, it doesn't stand out at all. It's amazing. I'm really, really happy with how this turned out. And also a little clarification thing on the telescope. Of course, it doesn't go all the way in because, it's already 1400 pieces as it is. This is actually the second design I have made. And, well, the first design was more fully enclosed, and I actually only scrapped that because it was a little too large for the hole I'd made. And so I started doing like the tinier version, which is this version. And I decided, it isn't really steampunk to, just make a circle and enclose it in some metal or iron or whatever. So I decided to go for much more of an open layout. So, you have like this frame that holds 4 lenses together. And those lenses are connected with, I would make it springs, but it's actually pipes. But yeah. And so it gives like kind of this look like you could adjust all those things, and it's looking much more rough, much more industrial than like an actual telescope in real life. So yeah, that's just I'm just gonna show you. I adore this, just looking at this shot. I mean, it isn't prominent enough for it to be the thumbnail, but I love this. I love it. I absolutely love it. So, well, that's finished. For as far as I'm concerned for this episode, I might do something around it in the form of some path or some square or anything. But for now, I actually want to start work on the buildings that I'm just gonna that are gonna form up the main city around the coaster. And I've already mentioned this in a previous episode, but those buildings are actually gonna be largely the same. I'm gonna make a few templates, so like 7 or 8 probably facades, and I'm gonna just place them all over the place in here. Because if you're walking on those paths, you're gonna have a close up on those buildings, and they need to be different, because if you have like only 7 or 8 buildings, I mean, this would start to look repetitive. And you wouldn't want that. So that's why I have to hand make every single building in the area that has the actual streets in. However, on the coaster, I mean, you're going by so fast, you barely even notice details on buildings. So they're not going to be as crazily detailed as, for example, like this building or this building. They're going to be more in the spirit of, let's see what's like a little bit of an easy building, like a little bit in the spirit of this building, but with more pipes. I think that's like this is already like, this is the building that you don't notice in this square, because it's tucked away all the way behind, and it's like, this was a building that I literally only placed because there was an open gap in here. It doesn't add anything to this area, it just completes it. That's all. So yeah, it's more gonna be in that spirit, mainly because of time reasons. You know, I have 3 more weeks or so, 3.5 by the time I'm recording this on a Friday, until the contest ends. And, you know, so far in 5 weeks I've done only this part, and even that part isn't complete. So, I mean, I still have to make this square, I have to make this, a tower around this all the way custom, and I still haven't figured out what to do with this, since I kind of worked myself into a corner by making this arch not include the size of this path. So there's still quite a lot to be done, and actually by the end of this episode I would really like to, you know, have finished those buildings around the coaster, because, you know, it's important, but it's not something you're gonna see from every angle, and that's why they're not intended to be looked at for extensive periods of time. And that's why I think I can do it in a single episode. But I'm saying all this right now before I've started it, so I guess we're gonna see, won't we? So yeah, I'll be back with you guys when I've made up some templates. So as I said, I have built up a few houses. It's 7 right now, but one is, well, not finished, is not really telling the whole story. It's literally 4 objects, but that will come. It's not been integrated yet anywhere. But I've built 7 houses, and I thought, you know, let's see what I can do with it. So I went ahead over here and I put some of them in. I modified them slightly to make some track fit. I mean, I'm gonna have to do that. I'm gonna have to do it every once in a while. Also here, like, let's see how it works when I try to make a corner in here. I mean, these kind of things, like, they're not really decorated. I might put something, you know, here in the corner. But I mean, you're going by this at like 90 or so kilometers an hour. So I don't think that should matter too much. I started making the backdrop. And well, basically what I want, like Johnny says, do something with terraforming and with trees and all outside your park to make it look a little bit interesting, and not just like a square with things in it and then suddenly nothing, like, well, this is currently looking. And well, I'm kind of against that, because I am really not comfortable with terraforming, and I fear that it's really gonna just make this whole area look less, well, just look less. And so I really wanted to do what a lot of theme parks do that are in not that much of a hilly area. So I'm taking, I know it's kind of getting a cliche right now, but I'm taking my inspiration from Phantasialand, who basically built a giant wall around the themed area, around an attraction. And what they then do, they decorate that wall, of course. I mean, it's not literally a giant wall, and that's kind of what I'm doing here. So yeah. I don't think there's a whole lot more to say about that. So that's coming along nicely. I think I have to leave it like this for this episode, since it's Monday and my video should come out in roughly 20 hours and I still need to edit everything. So I think this has been enough building for me this week. Thank you so much for watching, and well, consider liking and subscribing if you like where this is going. Also, of course, any suggestions, anything, just put it in the comments. Also, of course, criticism, compliments, anything. And well, this has been It's Okay to Game, and I'll see you next week on Tuesday at 3 o'clock. Goodbye!